How many times has a simple misunderstanding blown up into a massive fight just because you expected your partner to read your mind? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are unpatching a fascinating and, honestly, an incredibly common dynamic that absolutely destroys communication between partners. If you've ever found yourself giving the silent treatment, pouting, or just kind of waiting for your partner to magically figure out what's wrong, well, you're going to want to pay close attention. Let's jump right in. This question really captures a frustration that almost everyone has experienced at some point. We hit this solid wall of resentment and we feel totally disconnected, and it's all because of an unspoken expectation. It's the exact kind of situation that turns tiny, insignificant moments into massive arguments, and it leaves both sides feeling completely bewildered and just hurt.
Okay, let's dive into this. The you should have guessed trap. The absolute essence of this destructive dynamic is basically a fantasy. We're asking for telepathy. We have this deep-seated belief that if a person truly loves us, they'll just automatically scan our brain, detect our fatigue, and magically grant our desires without us having to utter a single word. But here's the hard truth we need to remember. In reality, adults read words, not minds. When we withhold our words, we literally set a trap for our partners and for ourselves.
So, moving on to our first main section, the trap in action, looking at two perspectives. Let's see how both partners actually experience this communication breakdown. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly it highlights mutual deafness. Picture this. She's exhausted after work, the apartment is a total mess, and he's just sitting there scrolling on his phone. Instead of asking for help, she starts dropping hints. You know the drill. She sighs loudly, she clatters the dishes, maybe even slams a cabinet door. Internally, she's thinking, it's obvious, I am exhausted. If I have to ask him to help, he'll only do it because I forced him, and I want him to actually want to take care of me. To her, asking directly kind of ruins the romance. But let's flip it. From his view, he just got home completely overwhelmed by problems at work. He just needs 30 minutes of absolute silence to decompress. When she starts sighing and asking these really tense questions, he thinks, she knows I had a terrible week. She should understand I just need a minute. Why is she doing this? See, he doesn't pick up on her hidden subtext at all. He only sees that the atmosphere has suddenly become super hostile, and he feels attacked for no reason. So, both partners end up feeling completely misunderstood, totally lost in this mutual deafness, and neither is actually communicating.
So, that begs the question, why do grown adults play this silent game instead of just, speaking directly? Is it just bad character? Are we all just too stubborn? Well, as we'll see from the source material, it actually has very little to do with our character and absolutely everything to do with our subconscious. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why our childhood programming completely messes with our adult relationships. Let's walk through these psychological roots. First up is the infancy pattern. Think about it. When we were babies, our mothers guessed our needs without words, right? They just responded to our crying. Subconsciously, we carry this pattern right into adulthood, expecting our partner to be this all-knowing mother who just gets it. Second is the fear of vulnerability. It feels incredibly risky to look your partner in the eye and say, I feel lonely right now, or I am really struggling. We have this fear that showing weakness is going to invite rejection, so our brains decide, hey, it's much safer to just retreat into an offended silence. And finally, there's the illusion of transparency. We genuinely honestly believe that our internal emotional state is printed right on our foreheads. We think it's literally impossible for our partner not to notice that we're upset. But as we just saw, they usually don't.
All right, let's look at section 2, breaking the cycle with 3 rules for directness. Let's move to and see how this builds into actionable steps. Here are 3 rules to build a much healthier dynamic, giving you the actual, practical tools you need to fix this disconnect. Step 1. You've got to switch from the language of hinting to the language of needs. That means no more heavy sighs, absolutely no more silent treatment, and definitely no more saying everything is fine when it's clearly not. For example, instead of angrily washing a plate and muttering that nobody helps out around here, you simply say, I am really tired today. It would mean a lot if you handled the dishes. Boom. Simple. Step 2 is all about using I messages. The exact moment you say, you never, or you should have, your partner's defenses shoot right up. To actually be heard, you have to talk about your feelings, not their flaws. Say, I feel lonely when we don't connect, rather than, you don't care about me. And step 3 is absolutely vital. Propose concrete steps. Give clear instructions. Remember, your partner is not a psychic. So the crucial point is how you deliver this. Here is exactly how you provide your partner with a clear coordinate system to resolve these tense situations. Instead of throwing out a vague complaint like, give me peace, which honestly just sounds like an attack, say exactly this. I need 40 minutes in silence to decompress from work, then I'll come out and we can talk. See the difference? Instead of crying, pay attention to me, which is super abstract and puts people on the defensive, give a concrete instruction. Please sit with me for 15 minutes without your phone, let's just talk. And instead of the classic, help around the house, try, please take the clothes from the dryer and take out the trash. By doing this, you are completely removing the burden of mind reading from your partner and giving them an exact blueprint of how to support you. It's a total game changer. The ultimate conclusions we must draw from all of this are incredibly simple, yet so profound. Love is not mind reading. Love is a readiness to listen and hear. If you really want your partner to understand you, you have to give them a fair chance to do so. Relieve them of the impossible duty of being a psychic. Remember, speaking directly about what you need is never a sign of weakness. It is actually the absolute shortest path to respect and intimacy in your relationship.
So, I want to leave you with a challenge today. Think about this for a moment. What is one specific need you will clearly ask your partner for tonight? Not a hint, not a sigh, but a clear, direct, and kind request. Give it a try, drop that mind-reading trap once and for all, and just watch how much better your communication becomes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really can't wait to share our next deep dive with you soon.